of turning yourself into a victim. I'm being gaslit. They triggering me. Well, what do you think marketing is? What do you think politics is? And I can tell you one thing. Everybody loves therapy, but I've never heard therapy language in defense of black men. So it's an interesting thing because there's a lot of things that society claims to believe, but they don't practice when it comes to black men. We don't practice this idea about, we shouldn't have this conversation in public because this is not a safe space for black men. We should be careful what we say in case we trigger black men. We don't want to minimize the feel. We don't have that language. We don't have that language around black men whatsoever. Right? And matter of fact, when black men say that we're triggered by something, right, you get called soft. You get called weak. Right? Then you reverse it and say, well, no, y'all the ones who do this and do that and do that. And it's like, if you really believe it, then you have to believe in it for all. Not just yourself, not just women, not just gays, not just trans. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to believe in it for everybody, right? But I'm sure most black men would agree that this is our relationship with the world. The world doesn't want us to trigger them, but they don't mind triggering us. That's the relationship that black men have with the world. With the world. So a lot of these therapy languages have been weaponized against us, but it hasn't been used for us. That's just a fact of life. And there's so many examples of it. Gays will tell you, don't trigger us, but they don't mind triggering you. I made the post about Doechi yesterday. And she said the red heterosexual man on her red flag. And it was like, okay. Now, can black men be triggered and respond to that? Or are we being insensitive? Can heterosexuals be triggered and respond to that? Or are you being insensitive? Because then on that same post, almost every gay person was like, they stand her for doing it. Well, then that goes into the standpoint of saying, well, if you can do it, then I can do it. Because if it's safe for one person, then it's safe for all. You can't be the oppressor and the victim at the same time. So this is where a lot of people don't think black men have the capacity to intellectualize these things and think about them, but we do. We just often don't explain all of these things, and we might turn it into anger, and you might want to try and trigger black men to manipulate them and say, that's red pill. No, it's not. It's my logic. Matter of fact, they will tell you mansplaining is an issue. Well, I'm a man and I explain things, and well, damn. What part of therapy told you to be empathetic to how men think? I just want to call out some of the hypocritical things that exist in society that those who claim to want empathy do not give it. Because they will say, well, you are the oppressor. Damn, am I? If I was a person that believed in triggers in the sense that a lot of people tell me I should, or safe spaces in that idea. Now, I do understand the idea of a safe space. Don't get me wrong. I understand it completely, right? So this is where critical thinking comes in. One would say, I know he understands the idea. We're expanding and challenging the idea to expand. That's what we're doing, right? It's like I went and spoke at a therapy. It's called Thug Therapy. My brother, Mr. Fab, throws it in Oakland. Now, when men speak, men need a space to speak because the rest of the world, right, will feel triggered when we speak to each other like warriors and men straight up. And the whole idea is that we shouldn't need a space because we should just take up the space. Otherwise, we will never feel safe and we will feel compartmentalized and regulated to small rooms. That means that makes you feel less like a man when you need spaces to feel safe. You have to understand that. I've seen grown men cry in these spaces because they don't want to need the space in the first place. And my thing is to tell them, yeah, you have to go out and challenge the world. And the space exists for you. You just don't have the tools to take it up and turn every space into safety for you. But in the sense that don't look for the safety, be the safety. Don't look for, and this is where a lot of women and men are doing to their young children today. A lot of people are doing this to their children is that they're so over focused on protecting them. You're making these young boys so weak that they grow up into weak men who need space just to think. We're warriors, gods, kings, aren't we? When did we become relegated to spaces? But yes, again, I understand the idea of a safe space, being around people who are in agreement with you, right? Who are nice to you, who are going to do the niceties. They might not tell you what they really think. So is it really safe? Because truthfully, I might need somebody to challenge my points. People don't care about a safe space for 19 keys. They're going to say, you're dangerous. Your opinion's not right. You're wrong. What are you doing? They will comment under posts. They will tell other people not to follow me. Well, damn. You trying to make it unsafe for me out here. I'm on my page, doing my life, doing my thing. I thought it was a safe space for me. My bad. God damn. But see, I also realized that I have tools that most people don't. And this is why intelligence and intellect is a sign of masculinity. Right? Emotional intelligence is a sign of masculinity because then men have the capacity to deal with things. We seek challenge. We don't seek comfort. You want to be comforted? Oh no, I'm not doing that for you, brother. Not in that sense. Not in the way. Not that way. We are at war right now. I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if you all understand, but there's a war going on. There's a war. They call it dark matter or dark enlightenment and all these different things. There's a war of ideas. America's not a safe space. Get prepared. America is not a safe space. Get prepared.